Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast, the Drafted Up Podcast. Today, we finish up our preliminary fantasy football rankings as we dive into our top 24 wide receivers. We'll also talk some guys outside our 24s who we like as flex spots. As we round that out, tight ends are done, running backs are done, quarterbacks are done. Those episodes, they're up. Check them out. That's Nick. I'm Theo. Like I said, this is the Drafted Up Podcast. You know where to find us at draftedup_pod over on the Twitter. More importantly, the show, you can find it Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever you listen or watch your podcast will be there. Like, rate, subscribe, review, follow, all that good stuff. How you doing today, Nicholas?
Doing good. Still knee-deep Fast and the Furious movies, grinding them out. We're at 8, I think, so I'm almost towards the end at this point. Saw the new Ari Aster tonight, so we're vibing. Lots of movies. We're going to talk some receivers, though. Football's here.
Yeah, should do a movie podcast called Reel It Up.
Reel It Up. The Reel It Up podcast.
Yeah. Act It Up?
I've seen enough this year, for sure.
Talk
your ear off.
I probably am on track to watch more movies this year than I did last year, but
hell yeah, I'm glad to hear that.
It's been a while since I've been in the movies. Haven't been there since Superman, which was great.
Oh, phenomenal. What a peak superhero movie overall. James Gunn did it again.
Next up will be Fantastic Four.
Oh, Fantastic Four. Yeah, no, I'm pretty hyped for that too.
That's going to be fun. All right. We got some news, though. Ton of news happened today.
Ton of news, yeah, for sure. A lot of stuff happens.
Two of which are wide receivers, so we'll start there. First one, Rashee Rice. He came out, issued an apology, a statement regarding the whole legal issues he was dealing with. So he's getting a ton of probation and some jail time. I think it's like 30 days, something like that, for the whole trap.
5 years probation, 30 days in jail, but served whenever he wants over the 5 years.
Over those 5 years, so yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if he can go like a day at a time, because that would be pretty hilarious. Just go 24 hours, check out, like that's one day, 30 months.
I got plans this weekend, so.
Yeah, I'm a little bit busy, guys. I'll be back next week.
So we're looking at a suspension for him. I think the minimum's going to be 3, probably closer to 6, but I think that's the range we're looking at there for Rashee Rice. Was he in your top 24?
He was, yeah. He is not anymore.
You bumped him out? Okay.
Yeah, he's down.
He was not in mine. I haven't adjusted for his potential suspension just yet. But I had him at 28, so he'll drop a little bit. Jordan Addison, he pled guilty to a lesser degree for his DUI back in, I think it was December of 2024. So we're probably looking at a 3-gamer for him. I did have that in my projections already, because that was pretty well set in stone there for Jordan Addison. And Mike Williams retired.
Big Mike,
Chargers wide receiver,
now, yeah.
a big fave of mine. I've always been a Mike Williams guy. I loved him at Clemson. Had a few good years. Never really hit that potential, though, which is a real shame. But constantly banged up, couldn't stay healthy consistently, and he was probably going to start the year on PUP this year, which would have led to some issues there depth-wise for the Chargers, because Trey Harris hadn't signed, but now he did sign. So after Mike Williams retired, Trey Harris, they went out, they figured out that situation, 2nd-round pick. He's one of the 30 of them who hadn't signed, and Alfred Collins also signed, but that doesn't have anything to do with fantasy stuff. TJ Watt also got paid today. A ton of money his way.
I'm blanking on his name. RJ Harvey also signed. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, did he? Okay,
I'm pretty sure.
All right, well, that's good for the Broncos, because it was looking like, and I think it still is going to be more J.K. Dobbins early on. But
I think it's going to be both of them.
R.J. Harvey did. I think Dobbins will start and handle the early work, but I think towards week 5, 6, we're going to start seeing the shift to R.J. Harvey if he's as effective as we think he should be in the Sean Payton offense.
Yeah. I mean, Sean Payton tried to run split backs last year with Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins.
Nope, that was horrible. Sean Payton was Javonte
Oh, yes. I
McLaughlin.
was thinking of, yes,
Yeah.
for sure. Yes, J.K. Dobbins is now. But yes, Harbaugh tries to run split backs. I expect both of them to be out there. Even McLaughlin. I don't think J.K. Dobbins is going to handle a ton by himself. I think all three are going to be heavily involved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think
For
Dobbins
sure.
will get the most work early, and then I think we'll see.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the one for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Trade him, though, if he gets hot. If you draft him, because his ADP right now is like the 10th, 11th round.
His ADP is great right now.
It boosts too far up, maybe 9th round, probably. But if he starts off hot, I'd be moving him.
Yeah, I expect that most it would be like the 8th. I don't think people are overly excited for J.K. Dobbins.
No.
Even last year, he wasn't as hot as he was. He started off really hot and he faded out quick.
Those first 2 games, you should have dealt him then.
100%.
And then after that, he didn't do too much.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, TJ Watt got bank. Highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL, and that's well deserved. He's got like 108 sacks in 130 games.
Mm-hmm.
It's an insane rate he's at. So kudos to him, and that figures things out in Pittsburgh. There was no chance they were moving him, but that's what everybody was like. They should just trade TJ Watt.
You would never get the value you deserve for TJ Watt.
Right.
No one.
Exactly.
What is the value? It would be half a defense.
Yeah. Though, like, if I was Cleveland, well, they wouldn't have done in division.
Yeah, that would have never happened.
I was trying to think of like one of the top teams who needed like you guys at 3. I should have gave up 3 for TJ Watt and then
4 other first round picks.
Yeah, you could have figured it out, and you still get Jackson Dart in there. There's the problem. You guys ended up moving up for Dart, so chances are you probably don't have the ammo to move up for Jackson Dart. But someone up there, like, I don't even remember who was drafted in the top 10, should have, like, Dallas should have been the ones shelled out. Trade, pick 11 or whatever they were picking, TJ Watt, and maybe throw in Dak Prescott, make it real weird. Like, I think I saw a scenario where, like, that was the thing where they trade Prescott some first, they do like a first swap, and then they end up drafting Shadur Sanders, something like it was
in the 5th round. Drafting Shadur Sanders.
This was before the draft, so when everybody thought he was going late round 1, early round 2. All right, let's get these receivers locked up, shall we?
Sure, doggy. But there's no way we would lock up these guys, dog. These guys would burn us on a football field.
Ha
ha ha.
I'll stand 40 yards back. I'll play deep safety.
They're still getting past you when they get up to you, dog.
Somebody else on the defense will tackle them before I get there.
You hope so.
Okay. 24. We'll do our usual 24.
19
through 19, 18 to 13, and then 12, 6.
Sounds good.
All right. Why don't you start us off? Who are your receivers 24 through 19?
All right. Last guy, wide receiver 2 is DK Metcalf of the Pittsburgh Steelers. New team, new quarterback,
Samesies.
new everything. Hey, okay, let's go. DK, 24. 23, DJ Moore. That's probably not going to be the same. You're probably higher on DJ Moore.
No DJ Moore.
Whoa. Okay.
Not in this group.
I was going to. Okay. DJ Moore, 23. 22, Terry McLaurin, Washington. 21, Jamison Williams, Detroit. 20, Devonta Smith, Philadelphia. And then 19, Cortland Sutton, Denver.
Okay, so I got DK at 24. I have Devonta Smith at 21. So we're close on them. And I have Jamison Williams at 23. So
a lot of the guys, same bucket.
And I have McLaurin at 19. So 4 guys in this, 4 of the 6 were similar. I have DJ Moore and Cortland Sutton a little higher. 24, DK Metcalf, Pittsburgh, like I said, Jameson Williams, Detroit, 23. I have Devontae Adams from the Rams, 22. Devonta Smith, like I said, Philly, 21. Tyreek Hill, Miami at 20, and Terry McLaurin from Washington at 19.
Okay.
So I assume
Tyreek's
you have Hill and Adams up.
higher. Yeah, Tyreek's the first guy in the next group coming up. So
Okay.
he's almost in the same bucket for sure.
Okay. So let's. Who was your first guy out?
George.
George.
George Pickens, for the people that don't know who just George is.
Georgie Porgy, George Pickens. He's a fave of mine. Like I was for sure he was going to end up in my 24.
Oh yeah, I agree. I was with you.
And like I have him in the same bucket as these guys, like Jamison Williams, DK Metcalf, and then my next like three guys, which would have been Jerry Jeudy, Chris Olave, George Pickens, even Rashee Rice, Jalen Waddle. I would have them in the same tier. Like I would probably like draft day. I'm going to take George Pickens over DK Metcalf if I have the choice. Like it really comes down to like Jamison Williams and George Pickens to me would be my favorite in that tier.
It depends on what my team was looking like.
Yeah.
If I need a wide receiver 1, I'm going DK. But if I need like a high upside wide receiver 2, I would take George.
Yeah, so DK Metcalf, we both have him at 24. He's going to be the target guy in Pittsburgh. Obviously, they don't have an alpha wide receiver.
They don't have anyone else, yeah.
Yeah. When we did our mock draft episode before our rankings, you were kind of thinking about DK, and I brought up like this. Like I'm like his relationship with Rodgers worries me. He's not a Rodgers type of receiver. He's more of a fuck it, I'm down there somewhere, just throw it up kind of guy. He doesn't rely on timing and precision, whereas like Rodgers thrives with that, with like route running, timing guys like Randall Cobb, Devontae Adams, Jordy Nelson, those kind of players. And that's not DK Metcalf's game. He's not a route running savant. He's just a guy who's going to bully you around. Just chuck it up. I'll try and make a play. So the relationship there does worry me a little bit, but from a volume standpoint, I would understand. Like DK Metcalf probably, like in this group, in terms of being like a wide receiver 1 for your team, I'd probably have him 3 of these 6. Like I would hold him in the same boat as Terry McLaurin, just because like I think he has more big play potential than Terry does, and Terry's got the contract situation, so who knows how much time at camp he's gonna miss. And like Tyreek, I hold him in that boat. Like he's older, and who knows what's going on with Tua. Like I would take Devonta Smith and Devontae Adams. I'd be more comfortable with them as my wide receiver 1s than DK Metcalf. But I understand if you go running back heavy early, or you snag a tight end or a quarterback in that group, and you're looking round 4. I get going DK Metcalf on name. He's there, and on the fact that he should see the sheer volume of like his target share is going to push possibly over 30% in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think he's just going to be way more consistent just based off volume than George Pickens in Pittsburgh. There's Jonnu Smith, they just got him, sure, but there's still Pat Freiermuth, so they're going to be splitting time. I don't think Jonnu's going to eat a ton of targets. He's obviously going to eat more than any other receiver on that team. But DK is literally the only wide receiver on that team, so he's going to eat regardless. Even at the end of the day, he's not Aaron Rodgers kind of guy. Aaron Rodgers is going to have to make do with what he has, and it's DK Metcalf, who is a dog. Like DK is going to boss any defensive back around, so he'll be able to get the ball. Rodgers just has to put it on a dime, and he's got a pretty deep ball. So I'm expecting a couple big plays from DK this year.
Yeah. The whole Pittsburgh dynamic's really weird. Like, it's
sure.
the most bizarre Pittsburgh offseason because they're doing things that they don't normally do. They're signing these guys, they're trading for guys.
They're essentially going all in just on this 1 year.
But to me, it seems like they're doing all this, and like I don't think they're that much better than they were last year. So
I still think they're better than they were last year. And they were what, 9-8 last year. So even if they're a little bit better, that's 10, 11 wins.
I don't think this team makes the playoffs.
I think they're going to push the playoffs every year like they do regardless. Yeah, I think they can get in. It wouldn't surprise me if they get in.
I don't think they do. Like there's the whole thing where 3 teams in each conference on average missed the playoffs that made it the year before. So like if I'm looking at the AFC, there's Buffalo, I think they're a lock. Baltimore, I think they're a lock. And then I would probably say Kansas City.
Yeah, they're probably a lot because they're not going to fall out of the wild card.
So that leaves the 4 teams left to be Denver, the Chargers, the Texans, and the Steelers. I think Pittsburgh has the most realistic chance to be the first team out because you figure Cincinnati, they're better. They're a better football team than the Bengals, but like their defense is in shambles. But like I would say the Bengals have a better chance to make the playoffs than Pittsburgh. and then it's just trying to figure that out. If you just look based off history, a lot of these teams that made it last year are not going to make it this year, and Pittsburgh would be my first choice to easy boot out, and then it would probably be the Chargers.
Oh, see, I'm honestly the complete opposite. I would say the Chargers and the Steelers are probably the more safer route, because Denver could easily take a step back with a second-year quarterback. We've seen it with C.J. Stroud. And Houston's division's up in the air. They could easily just not make the playoffs, go 8-9, not even win the division. Jacksonville could take the rise. Indianapolis was 8-9 last year. I would say Pittsburgh and LA are the safer options out of those four teams.
See, I just trust Denver in terms of just like Sean Payton being the coach. The defense, I think, is the best defense in football. So even if Bo Nix does take a slight step back, I still think that team is better than the other four teams in this scenario. They're the best of the four in my eyes.
Disagree. I would say it's the Chargers.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. DK, anything else on him?
No, he's just safe this year. He's going to eat volume. He's the only receiver. It's the stuff we've been talking about DK all offseason.
I don't see DK as safe. He has where's he going? That's probably something.
I think at the end of the day he's going to get 1,000 yards because that's what he does. He's going wide receiver 22.
Okay, so a little bit higher than we have him, but he's underperformed his draft position like the last 3 years. So
I think if he's going wide receiver 22, 24's underperforming.
Well, where we have him, yes, but
yeah.
But where he's going, I just like the upside of the guys above him and around him more than I like him. And it's an Aaron Rodgers issue than anything else.
Yeah,
right,
J-Mo. He was banged up last year, and he almost had 1,000 yards. His touchdowns obviously took a back step, but I think Rodgers could pump out touchdowns to DK in the red zone. Like, DK doesn't have to be in the right spot in the red zone. It's the end zone. He's gonna be there. So I think DK could see a double-digit touchdown season.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I'm not there yet. J-Mo. You have him at 22, 21?
21.
All right, I got him at 23. He's probably my favorite, just like upside play at wide receiver in this area. Like if I had to take a wide receiver to have the big breakout year and potentially move into like a wide receiver one, I think he's one of the first three guys I'm going to say.
Yeah, out of this group for sure. I don't think DK could do that. I have DJ Moore in this group. You have him higher, but I don't think he could do that. Terry McLaurin, who knows what's going on there, dude? The contract worries me. Terry McLaurin's the one guy in this group that could easily fluctuate out of this group in 2 weeks because he said that he's willing to hold out. So I'm on his side at this point. I think he should get paid. I don't think it should be a crazy long deal, 2-3 years max. But
it should be similar to what the Broncos did with Courtland Sutton. What was that, 2 years ago? It was like a 2-year extension.
I would say he deserves a little bit more than Courtland Sutton. He carried that franchise for years when there was no one there. He's been that guy, locker room. He's a dog. And he's just been so consistent for that franchise when they didn't have a quarterback. Now you have a quarterback. He's on a rookie contract. Freaking pay Terry McLaurin. I'm pro Terry on this one.
Yeah. Well, I'm always pro pay the players.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't pay Terry McLaurin 5 years. He's going to be 30.
No, I would say a 2-3 year deal, but max out those 2-3 years for him. Hit him up. Yeah. Pay the man.
Yeah. But Jameson Williams, though, like he's going around Xavier Worthy. Like Xavier Worthy's going as wide receiver 26. Jameson Williams going as wide receiver 27.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy the upside more of Jameson Williams than Xavier Worthy, though. With the Rashee Rice news, Worthy might get a little bit of a bump in terms of ADP in my rankings. Like, I'm at 38 right now. So he'll move up a bit, but like Zay Flowers is going as wide receiver 24. I'm going to buy the upside of JMO over him. Like just his big playability and the fact that like I think there's a better chance he's a double-digit touchdown guy than DK Metcalf.
Yeah, he had 7 last year, and I think it's not going to get any better, to be honest. I think Jared Goff's going to take a step back. The passing game in a whole is going to take a step back because of the offensive line. But I think Jameson Williams has the high upside play potential to where he's not going to take a huge step back. He finished wide receiver 22 in full point PPR last year, so I have him almost in the same boat.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's going to work out regardless for him because of his high play potential.
Yeah.
And I loved him coming out of Bama, dude. He went that high in the draft for a reason.
Yeah, he was my wide receiver
he showed
one,
it.
his class.
Yeah, reasonable. Yeah. So I think JMO is going to work out. I don't necessarily love all the Lions at their ADP, but I love Jameson Williams at his ADP. He's one of the Lions I'm trying to scoop up every time.
I think he has league winning potential.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You got to play fantasy football to win. You don't want to finish third or fourth, and Jameson Williams is the guy.
You're not playing to just make the playoffs. You're playing to win the championship.
Yeah, exactly. So Jameson Williams is the guy that can carry you through.
Yeah. Whereas Zay Flowers is going there. Zay Flowers doesn't give you league winning potential. He gives you a steady hand,
safe,
so you can rely on putting your lineup, and then you can take a risk somewhere else and try to find big play potential. But Jameson Williams to me takes it to a next level. Same with like George Pickens. He's going in that range. Like I would take Pickens and JMO over Zay Flowers. I would probably even consider Xavier Worthy over Zay Flowers in that range as well, just because like I think he's the riskiest of those three guys. But I think there's a ton of upside for him to be a top 20 guy, especially with Rice's situation up in the air.
Oh, yeah, the Rice thing worries me. I moved Worthy up a little bit, but he's still like, I think I have him 33. And I'm sure he'll move up maybe one or two spots, but I don't know. I'm not huge on Worthy to begin with.
Yeah, I think he becomes essentially just a high-end flex guy.
Yeah, I agree. I just think Jameson Williams is an overall better football player than Worthy.
Yeah, agree. Devonta Smith. I have him at 21, and you had him at
20.
20. Okay. One of the three best number 2 wide receivers in football.
Yeah, for sure.
And
they use him as a number 1 as well.
Yeah,
like his target share is as a number 1. So like the Eagles use this guy as
the Eagles only have 2 receivers that they throw to.
Exactly, and I love that method. You know what you're getting in Philadelphia's offense. You're getting AJ Brown, you're getting Devonta Smith, you're getting Barkley, you're getting Hurts, and then you're getting a little bit of Dallas Goedert sprinkled on top, and it works out flawlessly for fantasy. This is what you want out of a fantasy football offense. At the end of the day, you have no questions, and they're all for sure gonna get you points.
Yeah, it's like the Bengals. Like where it's Jamar, it's T, it's Chase Brown, Joe Burrow, with a sprinkle of Mike Gesicki. But yeah, Devonta Smith is when he's out there, he's one of the better receivers in football, and like you want a piece of Philly, and he's going as wide receiver 25, so we're both higher on where he's going, and you're getting him the 5th round,
something around there, but
middle of the 5th, and I think like the guys going, he's in this group with Jameson Williams, Xavier Worthy, Zay Flowers, DK Metcalf, George Pickens. These guys are all going in the 5th round. And Courtland Sutton. I would take Sutton over all those guys, but we'll get to him. But like, I think Devonta Smith is the safest of that group, who also gives you a low end wide receiver 1. Like if he finishes in the top 12, it wouldn't surprise me. But like I think he's more, his ceiling's probably like 14 through 17, which is great. You're getting a high end wide receiver 2. And like you're getting a guy who's going to get targets, even with the number 1 receiver being AJ Brown. Like it doesn't skew you away from him because he's so involved, because there's no depth at the position for Philadelphia. So you know what you're getting, like you said.
Yeah. Last year he finished as wide receiver 27, and he only played 13 games.
Yeah.
And he usually plays at least 16. So you're gonna get multiple healthy starts out of Devonta Smith. Last year he's a little bit banged up, so it is what it is. But he was still almost where he finished. Where he finished as wide receiver 27 is where he's being drafted now. So you're drafting him at his floor, I think. He's a huge upside guy. He finished wide receiver 9 3 years ago, technically. But 1,000 yards is almost locked if he plays 16, 17 games. His touchdowns are usually consistent, 8, 7, 7, 5 his rookie year. So he's so good. I love Philadelphia's offense. 25, where his ADP is, that's a steal, I think. You're getting him at his floor.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel that's like the case every year as well. You're just always getting Devonta Smith at his floor.
Yeah. Yeah, he's usually slept on in fantasy because he's a wide receiver too. So I get it, but I'm always high on him.
Yeah, I'm in there on Devonta Smith. All right. Terry McLaurin, I believe, is our only other guy here in this group that we both have the same. We briefly touched on Terry looking to get paid. The biggest thing with him that pushes him down to this range for me is touchdown regression. He had double-digit touchdowns last year. I just don't see that happening again for him. So,
I mean, even if he hits 10, he still has a big regression. That's 3 less than he had. That's 18 points. Yeah, 18 points in 6-point touchdown league. So that's a big regression, even if he still hits 10. I doubt he hits 13. That's insane. And if he misses camp and some of like training camp and stuff like that, that worries me, dude. Any player that holds out through camp, I'm usually a little bit weary going into the fantasy season.
mm-hmm.
Hamstrings like to, tend to act up when you miss camp.
Yep, and it's usually a slow start as well. So that's a situation to monitor. But he plays for high-powered offense. He is the clear alpha of this receiving room. Like Deebo Samuel is not going to eat into Terry McLaurin's target share. So yeah, it's just how much do his touchdowns regress? Like I have him projected for 7, which I think is a great number for Terry McLaurin. Like he usually doesn't even like hit that.
He's
like,
only hit 7 once besides the 13.
Yeah. So that's still like you're almost now like it used to be similar to Devonta Smith where you were buying Terry McLaurin at his floor. Now it's almost pushing that you're buying Terry McLaurin closer to his ceiling than
he's
the floor.
He's going wide receiver 16, and he's only hit that mark twice in his career.
Yeah.
I love Terry McLaurin. I'm always pro Terry, but he scares the hell out of me this year. I'm not going to lie. His ADP is a little bit too high. He finished wide receiver 7 last year. So on paper, that sounds great, but he didn't even have 1,100 yards. So it was all touchdowns. Like he only had 82 catches, 1,096 yards, and then the 13 touchdowns is what boosted him up over all these guys. I love Jaden Daniels. I love Terry McLaurin, but I just have to be realistic and give him a little bit of a downgrade. Yeah. Like I have him at 8.5 touchdowns, so I haven't pushed him behind.
He's going, like you said, the end of the third. He's going at 3.9 right now.
Mm-hmm. That's high.
The receiver going after him is Marvin Harrison, and the receiver going one spot before him is Garrett Wilson. I would much rather buy those two guys at that ADP over Terry. Like I would rather take Terry McLaurin in that range where we were talking about DK Metcalf, Zay Flowers, Devonta Smith, Xavier Worthy, Jameson Williams, Cortland Sutton. I think his upside's a little bit better than those guys, sans Sutton, but we'll get to him. But like, I would rather be taking him at the beginning of the 5th, end of the 4th than the end of the 3rd.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think he's getting drafted a tier higher than he should be. So a little too hot for my liking.
Yeah, your other two guys in your group here were
DJ Moore and Cortland Sutton.
All right, DJ Moore starts my next group. I have him at 18.
Okay, that's where I have Tyreek, so we can go DJ Moore and Tyreek.
Okay, cool, because Tyreek is my 20. DJ Moore, obviously, like I think a little bit higher the Bears passing in than you do. I had Caleb Williams in my top 12 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's there. And I just think, like, DJ Moore is the guy here. Like, I know there was the issues last year where he walked off the field on that one play, and it was real weird, and Ben Johnson sort of called him out on that at his initial presser. But, like, I just think DJ Moore is the most talented guy in this room, and I think he just ends up playing the Amon-Ra role of this offense, and he just gets force-fed catches. Like, I have him at 94 catches. In my projections, barely over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. Like, I just think he plays this role where he's just going to eat the middle of the field and get those work, and Rome Odunze is just going to get the high play offense that's going to be a little touch and go. Whereas I think DJ Moore gets the safe, just over the middle stuff, and he can do the stuff after catch. Like, DJ Moore's a really good football player.
Yeah, for sure.
And
100%.
Justin Fields carried him to a wide receiver 1 position in fantasy, but I don't think he's that level of good. Like, I think he is more in this range of low end, high end wide receiver 2, but closer to like a mid wide receiver 2. But he's just a guy you can play, count on. He's safe, but he also does have some big play upside. Like DJ Moore can rip off an 80-yard catch.
Yeah, for sure. You've always been just a little bit higher on DJ Moore than I have. I just want him in this bucket with all those other guys because that's just the kind of guy I see him as. And I have him lower than he should be. I agree. He was wide receiver 16 last year. The year before that, he was wide receiver 6. I don't think he's ever going to hit the 6 again in his career. But 16's 100%. That's on the table. I'll give him that. And I do think that 23.
23. Okay, he's going as wide receiver 21. So you're a little bit lower. I'm a little bit higher, but we're both in the range of DJ Moore's current ADP.
Yeah. I just think Rome's going to be really involved. And now apparently Colston Loveland is healthy. He's going to be ready for camp. I think Cole Kmet's still going to be involved. He's going to be out there. I think Luther Burton's going to be involved. I just think there's so many mouths to feed at the end of the day.
That's fair, because there is a realm where like
it just cuts back.
It does that Ben Johnson and Caleb, they just spread it around everybody. It's really just like, what philosophy do you think the Bears are going to have? Whereas I lean more towards that they're just going to force it a little more to DJ Moore because like I think he's that much better than everybody else in the offense.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's not the most talented guy in the offense. Like, he 100% is. It's just that everybody's talented on the offense.
Yeah,
Colston Loveland was the pick 10. Rome was pick 9. So they're going to feed these guys. Luther Burton was an early second-round pick. I think the run game's going to be pretty good. I think Swift's going way later than he should be.
Yeah, I had that guy in my top 24 running back.
Yeah, he did. I had right on the outside. So
yeah,
I just like the Bears offense. I'm just worried about where everyone's getting drafted.
That's
because there's so many guys to feed.
Yeah, but there's also the chance where like all these guys do hit, and the Bears offense just takes that step. Whereas like
100%,
if you want to call your shot on what offenses take the next step, and you just want to find the pieces, it's feasible that you could draft DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift, Colston Loveland, Caleb Williams, and Rome Odunze if you really want to get risky and just have the Bears offense. But like, if you want to take a best ball strategy in a best ball league, you could get all 5 of these guys. And if the Bears are a top 4 offense, you're rolling in it because you're hitting on all those picks.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. There is a world where DJ Moore is like a low-end wide receiver 1, high-end wide receiver 2, and then Rome is pushing wide receiver 2 territory. The Lions did it with Jamison Williams and Amon-Ra last year. Amon-Ra has been a top 3 receiver the last 2 years. So it's definitely on the table, especially with Sam Laporta as well in Detroit. If Colston Loveland does take that step up, we've seen Ben Johnson feed the mouths of 3, 4 people, 5 if you count Montgomery. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that all these guys just hit.
All right, Tyreek Hill. I'm at 20.
You had him at 18. Yeah.
He's going as wide receiver 13 right now.
Yeah, he's going. He shot up a little bit.
Yeah.
He was going like 16, 17.
Beginning of the 3rd round. He's going at the 3-3. A little rich for me, considering Tua. We don't know how healthy he is or even if he could stay healthy. It's, he's one hit away from getting knocked out again, but you realistically could say that about every player in the NFL.
Yeah, exactly. For sure.
And Tyreek, he had moments where he looked good last year, but like he definitely looked like he took a step back more so than he has in like previous years when you go back and rewatch. Like,
I don't think he took a huge step back.
No, not a big step, but like I don't think I don't think he could put together a top 5 season anymore. I don't think that's in the realm of possibilities for Tyreek Hill. I do think he could be a wide receiver 1, but
yeah, I think 1,700 yards is off the table.
Yeah,
but I think 1,200 is on the table. I think he could easily pull off 1,200. 1,200 is double-digit touchdowns because of just who he is. I get drafting him at his ADP. I would take him a little bit later, but I get at the end of the day, you play fantasy football to win the fantasy football. Yeah, Tyreek, if he hits, he's going to win. Upside.
Yeah. Like, I have Jalen Waddle projected more yards than Tyreek Hill. But I have Tyreek Hill.
That's a hot take, brother. And I love Waddle this year, too.
Yeah. I have Waddle at 1089. I have Tyreek Hill at 1064. But I have Tyreek with almost 10 more catches and 3 more touchdowns. So that's where he gets the boost over Waddle. But
I think they're both 1,000 yards this year for
yeah,
sure. I think Waddle's criminally underrated in fantasy football this year.
If again, just like the Bears, if you want to buy that Tua stays healthy and the Dolphins offense will be good, and you could get, Devon Achane in the first, you can get Tyreek second, third round, and Jalen Waddle's going in the middle of the sixth.
Yeah, it's going late.
Wide receiver 31. So you could feasibly get, and then you get Tua later if you want to buy the Dolphins. The Dolphins, we think of them as this abysmal situation because of last year Tua not being there, and then they were just no fun to watch. It was disgusting to try to watch the Dolphins play football. They were still 8-9.
Yeah,
like Mike McDaniel, he's a fine coach when his guys are healthy. He doesn't adjust outside of that, but this team produces. So if Tua's healthy, there's no reason to think that Tyreek doesn't perform and Jalen Waddle doesn't perform. And like Waddle's situation, I think there's better chance Waddle outperforms his ADP. Like I say, he's going as wide receiver 31. I don't know how much Tyreek goes over wide receiver 13. But
that's going to be hard to do for sure.
Yeah, like you're almost buying him at his ceiling, but he does have the upside to be a top 7 dude.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, Tyreek, he's not safe at all this year, because if he did take that step back, that I don't think he did, but if it happens, he's 31, he's a little bit undersized, so it could very easily happen, but he still finished wide receiver 18 last year with under 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
So the difference between him and Terry McLaurin in yards-wise was literally 100 yards, but Terry McLaurin almost had 10 more, or he had 7 more touchdowns. So yeah. I think Tyreek could easily swing the 7 touchdowns, theoretically, if you want to play that way, and just be way better than Terry McLaurin this year.
Yeah. Tyreek has a ceiling that Terry McLaurin doesn't really get towards, but
like
Terry's got a much better floor.
Yeah, Tyreek has hit double-digit touchdowns multiple times. He's hit 9 once, so his touchdown floor is almost Terry McLaurin's ceiling. So,
okay. So Devonta Smith's the one guy in my group of 6 that we didn't talk about. Yours is Courtland Sutton. Where do you have Devonta Smith? Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams, I'm at 16.
Okay, that's close to where I have Sutton. I have Sutton at 14. So let's talk these guys. Denver, like I said, we sort of kind of dove into Denver a little bit. Like, I think they're one of the more safer teams in the AFC to make the playoffs. Like, I think they could push to win that division. Like, I just think they're a really good football team, and we're projecting Bo Nix to take this step. Like, we both have him as our quarterback 6. Yeah. And for that to happen, players in this offense need to produce, and I just think Courtland Sutton is obviously the alpha here. Like, Marvin Mims is only on the field 20 to 30% of the time. Pat Bryant's a rookie. Devon Vele's just okay. Troy Franklin's coming into his second year, but he was like a 5th-round pick. So there's all these questions of who's the other guy next to Sutton. Like, Sutton is there. That is established, set in stone. And like Mike Thomas always was effective in Sean Payton's system. The wide receiver one always produced there. That's Courtland Sutton. He was a top 15 play last year in PPR.
Yeah, he was.
And his where he's going is just insane. Like, he's going as wide receiver 23, and he is a set in stone wide receiver 1 on his team on an offense that we think is going to take a step up. So I think you're buying him at his floor, and so I think he becomes a great value. Like, I think he could be. I would be comfortable with Courtland Sutton as my wide receiver 1. I never thought I would say that. But, like, I think this guy, he doesn't give you this, like, insane glass-shattering ceiling. But he gives you a great floor. And there is double-digit touchdown upside with him. He's done it, twice?
He's done it one time. He's done
one time.
10.
So it was the year with Russ. I thought he had 2 years with 10.
Yeah, no, it was 10. But last year he had 8. I honestly think he finished wide receiver 15 in PPR and then 13.5 point PPR. But I think there's room for all of his stats from last year to increase. He had 81 catches last year. I think that could get bumped up to 90. He didn't even have 1,100 yards. I think that can get bumped up to close to 1,200. And I think he can get the 2 more touchdowns to get him to 10. Courtland Sutton has wide receiver 1 potential. I'll 100% give that to you because of Bo Nix, because of the offense, and because of the volume. he's a safer DK Metcalf in my eyes. He's going to eat a bunch of touchdowns this year. He's not necessarily thought of as big body, but he's 6'4", 216.
Yeah.
So he's a big wide receiver, and people
large.
don't realize that. So he's going to eat up red zone targets because Evan Ingram's certainly not going to eat up red zone targets. So I think what Evan Ingram takes away from Cortland Sutton doesn't really affect his fantasy value too much.
Yeah, and you kind of have all these guys in the same bucket. Like you have Terry, Cortland
100%.
Sutton, DK Metcalf, DJ Moore. They're all kind of similar, just safe fantasy players, and each of them has like a little bit. Like DK Metcalf can score a bunch of touchdowns, so can Cortland Sutton. DJ Moore has big play potential, and then Terry McLaurin, if it's anything like last year, you're looking at double-digit touchdowns again. So like these lower end wide receiver ones in real football on their team, you kind of do have them in the same bucket, and that I do see that realm. I just think Cortland Sutton is the better of the group. That's why I have him a little bit higher, and I just think really highly of Denver this year.
Yeah, no, I totally get that, and that's how I feel about the Rams and Devontae Adams. I'm not going to lie to you. I love Devontae Adams this year, but I do think Cortland Sutton is in the group as with all of these guys for sure. And like we seen it last year, he was wide receiver 15. So for me to have him 19 on offense, I think that's going to get better. It doesn't necessarily make a ton of sense, but I think stat-wise, that's just where he fell out.
Yeah.
But I would probably take him over a couple guys depending on how my roster played out, just because of how safe he is.
So Devontae Adams, I am at 22, and I'm in. So this, and where's he going? He might be going a little bit higher than that, so I might be out.
He's going wide receiver 20.
Okay, so I'm right in range, and like bucket wise, I would probably take him over Devonta Smith, Tyreek Hill, Terry McLaurin, maybe even DJ Moore, who I have ahead of him. But like to me, they're in the same tier, just because the Rams' offense is really good. Like Philadelphia, it's set. It's Puka, it's Devontae Adams, it's Kyron Williams, and then Matt Stafford. Like, and then you'll sprinkle in. There's always just another guy who just kind of gets sprinkled. You just never know who it is. It could be Jordan Whittington. It could be Tyler Higbee one week. It could be Terrence Ferguson. The other option in there is always changing. But Puka, like the reason, like I think Puka is gonna be really good. I think he eats a ton of targets, and that's why Devontae a little bit lower than consensus. But like I think Devontae's upside is 12, 13, 14, like that. For him to get that range, I would not be surprised, even though I have him at 22.
Yeah, no, I agree. He finished wide receiver 11 last year on a year people really forget because he just started off kind of slow in Vegas, got dealt to the Jets, and then it kind of seemed that him and Rodgers were just stat padding for the back end of the season just to piss off Garrett Wilson, not really get him involved. But the Rams' offense is going to cook because of McVay and Stafford and Adams and Puka and Kyron. I am in love with all of these guys in fantasy. Sure, I got Puka higher, obviously. But I think the realm where Adams finishes as a wide receiver one's kind of in play like T. Higgins, kind of. He's arguably the best wide receiver two in football if you just go off of pure talent. Because Devontae Adams, still at 32, runs the cleaner route tree than 99% of the NFL.
Yeah.
He finished wide receiver 10 or 11 last year, 10 the year before, but then you got like 3, 2, 1, 3. So I just love Devontae Adams. I always have the last couple of years in fantasy. He only had 85 catches last year. I think that could get skyrocketed up to close to 100. I think you pushed the 1,200 yard mark as well. And I think the touchdowns, we've seen it before where he's going 14, 11, 16, 18. My apologies, not 16, 18.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to happen, but I think 10, 12, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Because of Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in NFL history. So I think he's going to pepper these guys.
He's the type of receiver where, like, if you do go running back heavy early, he's the perfect, like, he's not the wide receiver one on his team, but
you know he's going to cook.
Yeah, you're comfortable with him as your wide receiver one, even though
for sure,
like he's not there in the pecking order in LA. And I mean, maybe he could be. We don't know. Like, there's a chance maybe, Puka takes a step back. I don't think that happens, or teams just focus on Puka, and it opens things up for Devontae Adams. But I don't think Puka warrants that attention. I think defenses and defensive coordinators would shift their focus more on Adams because he could beat you over the top and score on you at any given play, whereas Puka's chunk yards. So like I think Adams makes Puka's fantasy value skyrocket.
100%. I think Adams opens up this offense tremendously to where, don't get me wrong, Cooper Kupp was an amazing wide receiver, but Adams opens it up in a way different way that he's an alpha wide receiver as well. Puka has struggled with injuries and all through college and last year. I don't want to risk the man, but God forbid if Puka goes down, Devontae Adams could easily be wide receiver 5, 6 on the year.
He instantly becomes a league winner.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If you have him, yeah. Okay. Next group, 18 up to 13.
Yes, I'll start here. So 18 was Tyreek Hill, who we talked about. 17, Mike Evans, Tampa Bay. 16, Devontae Adams, Los Angeles, who we just talked about as well. 15, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Seattle. 14, Marvin Harrison Jr., Arizona. 13, Laddie Daddy McConkey, LA.
Okay. 18, DJ Moore, Chicago. We talked about him. 17, I have Marvin Harrison Jr. for the Cardinals.
That's right. Marv guy.
Yeah, Marv guy.
How the pendulum has swung from last year, baby.
What a world. 16, Mike Evans of the Bucks. 15, the king of catch shit mountain, Laddie Daddy himself, Ladd McConkey of the Chargers. 14, I have Cortland Sutton of Denver, who we've talked about. And 13, I have Jackson Smith-Njigba of the Seahawks.
Nice. So pretty much the same similar guys as well.
Yeah.
Marv, though, I all throughout the process last year, I'd never said an ill thing about Marv. I think this is the year, though, he steps up. I think last year played out very, very close to how I predicted Marv to play out. But I think he's still that alpha dog wide receiver number one. And if come next year,
last year on this down year, I think we look at Marvin Harrison around because Malik Neighbors did so much and Brian Thomas Jr. did so much that you just kind of, you're like, okay, well, Marv was the first guy picked to that group. And
Ladd McConkey as well.
Yeah, he didn't hit. So, it's kind of skewed to a negative side of Marvin Harrison. He's bulked up. He looks great.
He always great.
Yeah, so I get it. Like, I love his ADPs going at the end of the third, creeping into the fourth round. Like,
he's going wide receiver 17.
Yeah, so he's going right where I have him, but his ceiling is higher than anybody's.
It's wide receiver 1. Not actual wide receiver 1, but it's in the top 12. 100% this year. Like, if we're sitting here come at the end of the season, we're going through the top 12, it would not surprise me if Marvin Harrison creeps into the top 12. He was wide receiver 30 last year on only 116 targets. I think his targets go up to close to 140, 150, possibly. It's going to be him and Trey McBride, obviously.
Again, the pecking order of this offense.
Exactly, and they didn't go out and get a wide receiver. They still have Williams, and they who's their slot? It's
Greg Dortch and Zane Jones.
I was thinking Zay Jones. Yeah, for sure. I'm not. Yeah. I think Dortch is a fine special teams guy.
I think Dortch is better than Zay Jones, though.
I think Zay Jones is a better over-round.
When Greg Dortch plays, he's always really good.
I'll give you that, but I think he's like schemed open. And when I think Zay Jones is just a smarter football player, like IQ-wise.
Yeah. There's a chance Zay Jones is the 2 and Michael Wilson is the 3 on this team because Zay Jones is just a really smart football player. I think Michael Wilson is a much better upside player, but similar
I
guys. Agree. They're the same player. None of them are taking away anything of the pecking order and the target share of Marv or Trey McBride.
Yeah, but I think Kyler Murray is going to understand that he's got to use Marv a little bit more in the red zone.
It's not his job.
It's not his job to get him the ball, but he only had 62 catches. I could easily see that getting close to 80, 90 catches. His yards are going to skyrocket. You have an 83?
Yeah.
I have him at 85. So, yeah, I think that's the realm that he's going to finish. I think he's going to push double-digit touchdowns. I think he had 8 last year. I think he's going to hit the 10 mark this year. He's just going to be that dog.
I got him at 9. But, there's double-digit touchdown upside for Marvin Harrison, especially because Trey McBride doesn't score. The old breakfast reports for Matt Stafford, always having breakfast with this guy. I'm going to need reports that Kyler Murray's playing Call of Duty with Marvin Harrison. I'm like, all right, they're bonding, baby.
They're in. We get it.
They should be bonding better, but that's the way to get to Kyler. Be his guy.
Hey,
he's like, yo, you playing Call of Duty Warzone, brother? I don't know what the most Call of Duty. I don't even know. I'm not a video game guy.
I'm not a COD guy.
Yeah,
Black Ops 2, baby.
I need the report that Marv and Kyler are playing Call of Duty online and sniping folks. But yeah, the upside of Marvin Harrison is top five. Like like you said, we could be talking about this. Like he could be the best of the rookie class. Brian
Yeah.
Thomas, Malik Neighbors. He could be number one in that pecking order in terms of fantasy value, and like he's put the work into his body. So yeah, I am fully in on Marvin Harrison's upside. But yeah, I like where he's going.
He was
312.
also really late to sign last year. Like it took him time to sign. He missed time compared to everybody else, so he was late getting to camp because of the contract issues and whatnot. But he eventually got there, obviously, and it panned out a little bit. But now with the full year under his belt, the full offseason he has to work out, and he worked on his body, I think Marv takes that step up. I'm confident in him.
Yeah. All right, Mike Evans. I have him at 16.
Big Mike.
You have him at 17?
Yeah.
Mike Evans, he's the safest fantasy football player
ever. Like
ever.
Yeah. Here's a list of his finishes. You ready for this? 14, 7, 17, 9, 11, 15, 9, 17, 2, 22, 13. He's never not finished as a wide receiver, too.
Yeah. He's currently going 18.
It's insane. You know what you're going to get. He's so safe. But he also has the super spikes. He can be wide receiver 7, 8.
Yeah. I look at Mike Evans in the same realm as I do Derrick Henry now, where it's just like, I'm tired of trying to buy the dip and predict when it's going to happen. If it happens when I have him, so be it. But like, I think we just got to value this guy at what he is, and that's a true blue alpha wide receiver one, future Hall of Famer, one of the best to ever do it.
I was going to ask you that.
Mike Evans, it's Baker Mayfield's dude. Baker loves Mike Evans.
Dude,
like, this is an offense that is so good. And Chris Godwin, he's coming off a serious injury, so who knows how much he's going to be involved. Emeka Ibuka's a rookie. Jalen McMillan was touch and go last year. Bucky Irving had times where he was just looking like a hospital patient in a car wreck, and Rachaad White is not a efficient running back. So the most consistent and reliable piece of this high-powered, really good offense is Mike Evans. So we just got to stop trying to be like, oh, he's old. He's getting older. Like, it's going to happen. I'm done trying to buy the dips on this guy. Like, I'm comfortable. He's going in the 4th round. He's going at the beginning of the 4th. I would take him over Terry McLaurin, who's going at 3.9. In a heartbeat.
Easily. In a heartbeat, dude.
Yeah.
And again, I love Terry, but he's no Mike Evans at the end of the day. I think Terry's ceiling on a lot of his stuff is Mike Evans' floor. Like, Mike Evans is going to get 1,000 yards guaranteed. He's done it every single year. He's pushed double-digit touchdowns like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
You just know what you're going to get. And when he pushes the double-digit touchdowns, he's a wide receiver 1. So you can easily, you're not even drafting him at his floor. Mike Evans is just so good. He's so underrated. He's underappreciated.
Yeah. The only risk you run with Mike Evans is the touchdowns. Because if you get Mike Evans and he only has 5 touchdowns, 5, 6, you're disappointed 3. In the season because you're going to not get a ton of catches because he's not a PPR machine. You're going to get the career high
yards. It's 96, but that's only happened once. Besides that, it's 86, and then it's 70s every other year.
Yeah, I think you're looking at low 80s. I have him projected at 80
I have
on
80,
the dot.
I've made 82, but there's so many other receivers. So him finishing in the 70s is definitely the likely scenario.
So, like, if he doesn't score 7, 8, 9, 10 touchdowns, he's going to dip a little bit, but you don't have to worry about his production. Otherwise, you know you're going to get over 1,000 yards.
Just keep counting up. If he doesn't finish with 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Dude, he finishes with 13 touchdowns, you're looking at a top 5 wide receiver.
Yeah, brother, he's done it. Wide receiver 7, wide receiver 9, wide receiver 2. And these are all on the 12, 13, 14-year touchdowns. So if he does that, you're golden, dude. Mike Evans, he wins leagues. He's done it before.
You're on the clock. And you're looking for a wide receiver 1. You went running back, or you went running back Brock Bowers, whoever you want in this scenario. Mike Evans and Marvin Harrison are your 2 guys you're looking at. Who
Mike
you want
Evans
as your wide receiver 1?
And Marv.
Do you take the upside of a guy who hasn't been a wide receiver 1, or do you try to take just a floor guy because you need the wide receiver one. Because say you went Achane or McCaffrey, you do have a little injury risk there, and then or you went both of those guys and you went crazy, or you have Brock Bowers in this.
I think you've really named like the one guy I would take
Over Marv.
over Mike. No, over Mike. It would be Marv.
Oh,
I would take Marv. But if it was
Okay.
like JSN, I would take Mike Evans over JSN as my wide receiver one.
That's fair. Yeah, even though I have JSN higher, I would probably lean towards Mike Evans as well.
Just because at the end of the day, he's in a way safer offense with Baker and the weapons around him. Seattle's offense worries the hell out of me. Where I know what Marv is going to be in his offense. I know what JSN is going to be, but everything's new for him. So it's just, it worries me a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Ladd McConkey, the king of
Laddie
catch
Daddy.
shit mountain, the Laddie Daddy. Target, he's going to get a ton of targets.
Eat him up, dude. I'm so happy Trey Harris signed, but he's the alpha. He's the one. He doesn't really have any real competition. No offense to Trey Harris or Quentin Johnston, but Ladd's going to cook now for sure.
He's going at wide receiver 11.
He's going high. Yeah, he's going high.
I got him at 15.
I got him also lower than his ADP. I got him at 13, but 11 is a little bit too high. I'm not going to lie.
He's going at the 2-8. So mid to late second round. Like it's a little rich for a guy who's I think he's a floor guy. I don't think Ladd has a huge ceiling.
He finished as wide receiver 13 last year.
Yeah, I view him and JSN as similar. I think they're guys who you're going to rely on their catch rate and the fact they're just going to be overly targeted. I don't see 7 touchdowns, 8 touchdowns. I don't see a big touchdown amount from these guys. So, like, I see them as really safe floor guys, but I just don't see a ton of upside going forward. And the Chargers, we know they want to run the ball so much that I think it does take away from Ladd a little bit because, like, he was the only option they had last year. Josh Palmer didn't pan out. Quentin Johnston was all over the place. So now they have Trey Harris coming in, so you figure he's going to be involved. I think Huge still plays a big role in this offense. I think there's going to be I think Huge is a guy like I'm willing to draft at the end of my draft because he's going in the last rounds. I would take the shot,
especially with the Mike Williams news for sure.
Like Quentin Johnston could be this team's number 2 and be like he could score 8 touchdowns. Like,
I mean, he could theoretically for sure, but I think at the end of the day, talent's going to overtake Trey Harris as an actual wide receiver.
Yeah. See, I'm a little. I like Quentin Johnston a little more than I like Trey Harris.
Whoo! Yeah. As a prospect.
Yeah. I loved Quentin Johnston coming out. He was my wide receiver 2 behind Zay Flowers.
That guy can't catch a fucking.
Or 3. JSN was my wide receiver 1, so he was my wide receiver 3 behind Zay Flowers. I had Quentin Johnston over Jordan Addison in that draft class.
Oh, I think Addison was like my wide receiver 1 or 2. I'm so high on Addison.
I loved Addison coming out. And
for sure.
In the end of the day, I'm glad Jordan Addison ended up as a Minnesota Viking. Because Quentin Johnston hasn't panned out, but like,
Ladd had 7.
I loved Quentin Johnston.
Huge. Yeah, no, I get it. He was a 50-50 ball catcher. He can't separate. He worried me coming out. But Ladd had 7 touchdowns. I honestly think that could go up a little bit just based off of
so you do
volume.
See touchdown upside for Ladd.
I'm not saying double digits, but I think he could push like 8 or 9. I think he can get 1 or 2 more.
I'm at 6.
No, I think next year would be like the limit on his touchdowns being this year because of Trey Harris being more involved come the future. But this year it's going to be Laddie Daddy and
too, who knows what role Amari and Hampton ends up playing on this team. But like I said, I think Ladd McConkey is a good player. It's just the offense kind of worries me. Like I think they're going to be more efficient as a running team. Like last year they were relying on Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins.
Oh yeah. They tried to run it, and it was terrible.
Haskins.
Yeah.
The 2 running backs they brought in are leaps and bounds better than what they had last year in Najee, even with one eye, and Amari and Hampton.
Pirate Najee.
Yeah. So I think they're going to run more. So I think it does take a little bit away from Ladd. Like, I think he's a safe play. I just don't like where he's going at the 2-8. Like, I'm more comfortable taking him in the 3rd, 4th round. Like third is where I'm starting to buy in, but like I would consider probably taking Mike Evans and Marv over him. I think their ceiling's better than Ladd McConkey, even though I've Ladd the spot ahead of those 2 guys in my rankings.
See, well, I'm a little bit higher on Herbert. I had him in my top 12, so it makes sense that I have Ladd a little bit. I think Ladd could be in the realm with all these other guys, just based off of the receivers that are there and Harris coming in for camp now, but I don't know how effective Hampton's going to be his rookie year. Hopefully they use the hell out of him. But if they're just running the throats down with Najee and Hampton coming in here and there, that opens up more option for the pass game for Ladd. Yeah. So because Najee's not going to take a goddamn catch away from Ladd McConkey, I can tell you that much. But if Hampton's on the field more, then it kind of gets more involved in the pass game.
Yeah.
But I think Ladd's easily the number one option throughout the whole season for this offense.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Ladd as a fantasy player. It's more, I don't like where he's going. 2.8 is
he's going a little bit early. Yeah, no,
I think you're buying him at his ceiling.
Yeah, he was wide receiver 13 last year, and you're drafting him higher than that. So yeah.
All right. Last guy in this group is Jackson Smith-Njigba. I am at 13.
JSN.
You had him.
I'm at 15.
15. Okay, so we had him and Ladd switch. You had Ladd at 13?
Yes.
Okay, so we just have those guys switch. Same player, though. Like,
yeah, for the most part.
Going to push 100 catches. I have JSN with more catches just because I think Seattle's going to throw more. I just don't trust Ken Walker, Zach Charbonnet as a full-time. Like, Ken Walker can't stay healthy. I think they're going to be split more, but I think they're going to be down, so I think they're going to really put the amount on Darnold. And we know Darnold can sustain a wide receiver. Addison and Jefferson were both wide receiver in the top 24 guys last year, but Darnold's not in the same situation. But the Kubiak system that Seattle runs, like Chris Olave looked really strong there last year. Even Rashid Shaheed had moments before he got hurt, and MVS was also at the end of the year was putting up top 15 performances, and he's there. But Jackson Smith-Njigba, he's clear-cut the best receiver on this team, even with them bringing in Cooper Kupp. Like, they got rid of DK Metcalf. They got rid of Tyler Lockett. They fully trust him, and he showed it last year. Mm-hmm. But it does worry me that Sam Darnold is Sam Darnold, and it affects everybody. And JSN goes from being drafted as, wide receiver 12?
No, wide receiver
currently,
12.
Yeah. And he ends up finishing as wide receiver 27.
I don't think you'd be able to fall that low in PPR because of his catch work. He's going to push 100 catches for sure in this offense because of what they're going to do and how they're going to use him. I'm just worried that they're not going to have a good run game, so it's going to worry the pass game in that way. And the offensive line scares the hell out of me compared to the Chargers' offensive line. And we've seen Darnold with pressure. He kind of just crumbles. But I think at the end of the day, he's still going to be able to get JSN close to a wide receiver 1. I don't like that he's going as a wide receiver 1 right now, though. Yeah. That's too rich for me.
His range of outcomes might be the largest of like this group.
Yeah, he's probably the biggest question mark range-wise for sure.
Like I would even put like DK Metcalf has a risk around him. I would say JSN's risk is right there with like DK and even Tyreek. Those guys were like, those guys could fall out, but like JSN's being drafted way above those two guys.
Yeah, for sure. If Tyreek and DK finished above JSN, I wouldn't be too shocked. At DK, I'd be a little bit shocked, especially in PPR. But if he finishes with 6-7 more touchdowns, that's not going to surprise me.
Well, I said JSN's going way. Tyreek is the receiver drafted after JSN, but I was thinking my rankings where I have 7 spots between those guys.
For sure. No, I'm with you.
Yeah. All right. Before we go into our wide receiver ones, our top 12, let's shout out our affiliates over at Finley Hats and W Energy. Finley Hats, their hats built for good times, fun times. They have a lifetime warranty, so if your hat is damaged or destroyed, they will replace it or repair it completely free. They got free shipping in the U.S. They drop hats weekly, every Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern time. They go live on their site. They drop a ton of hats. Some cool stuff. This week's drop is going to be like a lake day. There's axolotl. So I know Max is jazzed for a Finley hat. He loves those little fish lizard things. So they got cool stuff. Last week's was the icy drop. So like they had the ice, it was sort of like the icy logo. It said Finley and the ice cream hats, cool stuff like that. But they do drops every week. They're fun. Cool little hats. They fit my big ass head. They make extra large size where like I could wear it fully snapped, and it fits nice and snug. They got the little pockets and the Stampede laces. You can customize your laces, put some pins on there as well. Like the hat I got on has a little like Pokeball for those watching. It's there. So check them out. Finley Hats in the description. There will be a link. Click it. It'll give you 15% off your first purchase. And then, of course, W Energy, the OG affiliate of the Drafted Up podcast. Clean, better energy, no artificial dyes, no sweeteners. They just dropped a new flavor. I got one coming in the mail, yuzu fruit. So we'll be testing that out here, maybe on the podcast. I'll have it once it gets delivered. I'll have my first sip here. So they also got a ton of stuff. They got a collab with some animes, one of them being the Anime of the Year, Solo Leveling. So check them out. They got a ton of flavors. They got one that's like strawberry, watermelon, coconut. They got pomegranate blossom, the Pom Blom. They got one that's called like Grandpa's Dirty Dentures. It's like a mango white peach type thing. So check them out, W Energy. They have an app. Search W in your Apple App Store, your Google Play Store, wherever you get your apps. Or you can go to their site, w.gg, and use the code DRAFTEDUP. You'll get 10% off your purchase every time, anytime you use the code. So check out our friends over at W Energy. Be better. Eat that dub.
W Energy, dog. Eat it up.
Yeah.
That Grandpa's Dirty Dentures, dog. That one's out of pocket. I don't like that.
The craziest name, like
don't ever bring that up again.
No? Grandpa's Dirty Dentures?
I don't like that. Freaking me out. Wide receiver ones though, dude. We might have the same 12 guys.
Well, we did.
I mean, maybe not.
Unless we have
There's
someone in this group of 12 where there's
no
way.
Chance.
There's no. If you have one of these guys outside your top 24, you're out of pocket, dude.
Yeah, test me, dog. T. Higgins is going to play 6 games. The only person I sat out for injuries.
That's fair. Okay. Who are your 12 through 7?
7? Yeah, 12 through 7. Speaking of T. Higgins, wide receiver 12. T. Higgins, Cincinnati. 11, Garrett Wilson, New York. 10, Brian Thomas Jr., Jacksonville. 9, Drake London, Atlanta. 8, Nico Collins, Houston. 7, Malik Neighbors, New York Giants.
Okay. 12, T. Higgins of the Bengals, same seat. 11, nice. Garrett Wilson of the Jets, same seat. 10, A.J. Brown of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
9, Puka Nacua of the L.A. Rams. 8, Brian Thomas Jr. of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And 7, samey Malik Neighbors of your New York Football Giants.
Nice. I lied to all the audience when I told them you had Brian Thomas Jr. as your wide receiver 1.
You did.
I'm so sorry, everybody. I figured TJ liked that guy, so I guess he doesn't.
I have him higher than you.
That doesn't mean anything. I hate that guy, so it doesn't matter how much higher you have him than I do.
I have him.
Hey man, I have him at a reasonable spot. You got to give me that. I didn't fucking.
You do.
He's great.
I have him where
he's so talented, dude.
He's being drafted as wide receiver 8, so I have him on par with his.
Yeah, no, he shelled out last year, dude. He's. I said he could have a good rookie year and then shit the bed his second year. It's not going to happen. He proved me wrong already. He's so good, dude.
Yeah. All right. T. Higgins. We both got him at 12.
He's the best. He's arguably the best offense in football.
Never finished as a wide receiver 12.
But here we are, statting this man out as a wide receiver.
Because he never finishes a season. So if T. Higgins finishes a season, his points per game are top 12 are wide receiver 1 worthy points per game. The Bengals offense, the most dynamic, fun offense for fantasy football. And again, just like we brought up with Philly and the Rams, like the target pecking order here. It's Jamar Chase, it's T. Higgins, Chase Brown, sprinkle in Mike Gesicki. So if T. Higgins does get hurt, you want to target Mike Gesicki or look at Andre Yoshivas, Jermaine Burton, whoever would be the next wide receiver up in that order. Because like when Yoshivas was playing, when T was hurt, he was putting up productive fantasy games, but not consistent. He was pretty touchdown dependent in that range.
Gesicki really steps up when T. Higgins is out. Yeah.
Yoshivas, you're playing the touchdown game that he needs to score.
Yeah, you're taking high shots. Yeah. But he played in 12 games last year, which is very T. Higgins, so you might get that. But he finished wide receiver 17. He had 10 touchdowns in 12 games. It's because of the offense he plays in, and he's obviously super talented. But he's 6'4", 220, so he's big body. He can be used all over the field. He can stretch the field as well. Joe Burrow knows how to feed 2 wide receivers, so I'm not worried that he's the number 2 wide receiver on his team. I stat these guys out to play a full season, and in this offense, when they don't have a defense and they're going to have to score 30, 35 points every week, T. Higgins is a lock for almost a touchdown a game.
Yeah.
He almost did it last year, so if he plays 17, I expect him to have 14, 15 touchdowns.
Yeah, there's a realm where him and Jamar Chase have 10-plus touchdowns each.
They did it last year, did they not? Higgins had 10.
Oh, did he? I was reading my projection as his stat line for the year.
Yeah, no, Higgins had 10 and Chase had 17. So, yeah, it's definitely... 17. And Higgins... 17. And Higgins did it in 12 games. So, even if he only plays 14, 15 games, because, come on, let's be real, it's T. Higgins.
You get 15 from each of them.
Exactly. You're still pushing 10 touchdowns for T. Higgins regardless if he gets hurt.
Yeah. He's incredible when he's out there, and it's frustrating to have T. Higgins. If you've had T. Higgins,
it is.
You know the ride. It is one that's not always fun, yet I keep getting on. I might throw up a few times, but let me tell you, that's my favorite ride at the theme park, and I'm hopping back on because I can't quit it. T. Higgins, and then my safety ride, the little carousel is DJ Moore. I'm always getting back on that.
You're always on DJ Moore
to kind of cool down. But
dude, he's McCaffrey.
A roller coaster. Yeah.
He's obviously not as good as McCaffrey or as consistent, but when he's on the field, you know what you're going to get with T. Higgins, and you're going to get at worst, wide receiver 2.
Yeah.
And I think with this offense and their defense this year specifically, wide receiver 1 is definitely a possibility.
Yeah. So we have T. Higgins as a wide receiver 1 at 12. Are you comfortable with T. Higgins being your wide receiver 1?
It depends on who I can get as a 2, but if I can get somehow
swing
like Mike Evans, Devontae Adams.
T's going at wide receiver 14.
I wouldn't want like a high upside like Jamison Williams. I would need a consistent wide receiver 2.
Yeah, so he's going at the 3-4. So you're looking beginning of the 3rd round, you take T. Higgins, or maybe you take him at the end of the 2nd, and maybe you pair him with Ladd McConkey. Are you comfortable with that?
I would love that. That would be a phenomenal wide receivers. JSN, sure, but again, with all the question marks, both those guys could end up not finishing at their ADP.
Okay, Garrett Wilson.
No, I'd eat up Garrett Wilson every time.
He's going after T currently.
Yeah, no, I would eat up Garrett Wilson. He's going to see a ton of targets, dude. He's obviously the volume king. That's what he does.
But you'd be looking maybe DJ Moore?
I would be cool with DJ Moore. I would even be cool with like DK Metcalf, Mike Evans. I'd love Courtland Sutton too, for sure.
Because he's going at the 5 too. So that's a reasonable, realistic currently that you can get T. Higgins at the beginning of the 3rd, end of the 2nd, and then you could swing Courtland Sutton in the 4th.
Yeah, if you have T. Higgins as your first drafted wide receiver, your second drafted wide receiver needs to be someone that you're comfortable as your wide receiver 1. Because some weeks they're going to be your wide receiver 1.
What about Devonta Smith?
He's on the fence.
2 wide receiver 2s per se.
He's on the fence, but I think I'd be fine with that because I love both those offenses. I'm not really worried about that.
Yeah, T. Higgins plays with this high-powered offense that you want pieces of, and he's a piece you could realistically stack with Joe Burrow. Like, you can get those, like, if you're drafting first, you could take Chase, and then on the 2-3 turn, take T and Joe if you really want to live life wildly.
If any league allows someone to get Chase and Burrow, it's out of pocket. That's an automatic playoff bid.
But we know Jamar Chase is probably going with the first 3 picks.
Yeah.
So you're taking Joe Burrow in the 2nd round?
Someone better.
Because that's
Dude, I don't know. It's just too rich, dude. Okay. I was listening to a show today that they do keepers, and the guy's thinking about taking Joe Burrow in the 1st because he has Chase. Yeah, and I totally get that. I think he is the 3rd pick or something like that, and he's like, I'm thinking Burrow.
If you have the 1st pick, you could realistically go Chase, Higgins, Burrow.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I don't think that's out of pocket at all.
No, I think that would be my strategy. If I'm picking one, I'm just living life on the edge and going Chase, T, Joe, and then in the fourth, I'm looking to find Alvin Kamara, one of these running backs, so I could just kind of put in James Conner. Yeah, I think that's how I go.
Just chug a running back for sure. Go here or RB. Find someone that you're willing to play as your RB1.
All right. Garrett Wilson. We both have him at 11. You're right. Ready to move on from T. Higgins?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Garrett Wilson, we both have him at 11, and I think the only thing we have him this low, is the fact that we both don't see Justin Fields passing the ball 500 times. So
yeah, for sure.
If the Jets would pass at a normal rate, Garrett Wilson's a guy who could see 160, 170 targets.
He's done it before.
Yeah, but Fields, as much as I love him as a fantasy quarterback, and even I just love Justin Fields as a prospect, he does cap the amount you're going to throw the ball because it's not his shtick, and they understand that. He understands that, so it is going to limit Garrett Wilson's targets a little bit, but they still don't have another option in this passing game outside of him. So you could still see a forced 160 where he's getting a target share of 35, 40%.
Yeah, even if it's 160 bad targets, they're still going to get you fantasy points because of how Fields plays football and how Garrett Wilson's just so dynamic as an athlete. He had 154 targets last year. The year before that, 168. I don't think he's going to see 168 targets, but I think 150 is reasonable. 140.
Yeah, I got him at 144.
And that's just what he does every single year. He has the most targets through 3 years in the NFL history. He just eats up targets. Last year, he had a career high in touchdowns with Rodgers, so I wouldn't guarantee 7 touchdowns like he had last year. He might have 5, a little bit of a digression with Justin Fields as his quarterback, but I just trust Garrett Wilson at the end of the day. I know what I'm getting. He just got a contract extension for a reason. They want this guy in town. They're going to force feed him the ball. And Justin Fields understands his assignment. It's get Garrett Wilson the ball because there's no other wide receiver in town. So hook him up.
He's going to get 100 catches. He's going to get
for sure
1,200 yards maybe. And I have him at 6 touchdowns, so less than last year.
Yeah.
But I still think this is a guy you could just lock in as your wide receiver 1 spot. He was going, end of the first round last year and the year before that. The hype of Garrett Wilson, and it hasn't necessarily paid off, but we haven't seen the dip too much from him in fantasy that we have with Travis Etienne, who was going as a first round pick and he bombed last year and now he's going in the 9th round. Yeah. Or we haven't seen that volatility because we know Garrett Wilson's really, really good at football and he is an alpha wide receiver. So yeah, I think he's quarterback proof. It'll be ugly at times, but it's how it's been his whole career so far. So it's no different. And Justin Fields may be the best quarterback he's had. I don't think he takes too much of a step back from Rodgers last year.
I agree. And he finished wide receiver 10 last year. Yeah. And that's pretty much very close to where I have him at wide receiver 11.
Yeah, we have him at 11, and he's going at
15, 16.
He's wide receiver 15. So, you're buying him at his floor where he's currently going. There's no way he's
totally agree.
Back. Yeah.
And I don't want to jinx the poor guy, but he's always been healthy. He's never missed a game. He's gone 17 every single year. You just know what you're getting with Garrett Wilson. He's always out there. He's super reliable. He's going to eat up a bunch of targets. He's a good football player,
dude. Did you have Puka in your 12 through 6? 12 through 7?
No.
Okay. All right. So then let's talk Brian Thomas Jr. We both have him at 8.
I have him at 10. I have him at 10, sir.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. But we both have him in this group.
Don't try to push that guy up my rankings. I won't allow that.
It's Malik Neighbors. We have the same. We have it.
Yes, it's 7.
Brian Thomas Jr., he's the number 1 receiver in Jacksonville. I'm not worried about Travis Hunter being there. It's not going to take away from Brian Thomas Jr.'s effectiveness. I think he's a 150 target guy. I think he's a guy. I think this year he's going to get a bunch of catch. I haven't projected at 98 catches. I think his catch rate's going to go up. I got him at 1,300 yards. I got him at 8 touchdowns. Like, I think he has the Mike Evans level potential in this offense for Liam Cohen. But I think he gives you a better chance to get a ton of catches. So, like, he's Mike Evans in, like, Chris Godwin's frame.
Yeah, no, I think he has better catch potential than Mike Evans for sure. He had 87 catches last year, so that's not Mike Evans' career high, but it's higher than Mike Evans usually finishes.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think there is more improvement to go up. I'm worried about how much Mac Jones was getting this guy the ball because it was a 35% target share. I don't know if it's going to be 35, but I still think it's going to be like 27. It's still going to be really high for a wide receiver one. The 1,300 yards is more than he had last year. The 90-some catches is more than he had last year. I think his season last year is going to be really close to what he does this year, which is still why he was wide receiver 4 last year. But I think he's going to be like low 80s catches, 1,100, 1,200 yards. But I think there's room for improvement on touchdowns, to be honest, because he's that kind of guy. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying he's going to score more than 10 touchdowns, but he's going to have seasons in his career that he has more than 10 touchdowns.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's the kind of guy, like, if I'm drafting at the back end of the first, he could win me my league, and I'll take the shot on him because, like, he could be one of the 3 best wide receivers for fantasy football this year.
I don't know if he can.
He has that upside.
Sure. I don't know if he can be better than the top 3 guys.
Okay.
I don't think he's in the same category as those guys yet.
I mean, who knows what's going on with, some of them have questions, minus the guy who I assume we both have at number 1, who's pretty much question proof.
Oh yeah, for sure.
2 and 3, there are some possibilities that things could go a little south for them. Not too much south, but enough that they do fall out of the top 3. Malik Neighbors, the other rookie from last year. We both have him at 7.
Yes, sir. Finished wide receiver 6 last year.
Yeah. Upgraded quarterback, hypothetically. Who knows if Jackson Dart... I have Jackson Dart actually playing more games than Russell Wilson, but I think in that essence, he's just going to force the ball to Malik Neighbors like they were doing last year.
Probably.
As long as this dude's healthy, you're getting a top 10 player. He is efficient. He's going to catch a ton of balls. He has the upside to get 10 touchdowns, but the Giants just don't score touchdowns. It's like a historic thing. Like, if you just look back, the Giants just don't like scoring touchdowns.
Hey, man, we don't need to score. We don't need touchdowns. That's not how you win games.
Yeah. We will
rules.
out field goal you. We will.
Hell yeah.
We will kick more field goals than you.
I think he has a tiny bit of touchdown upside. Like, he had 7 last year. I think he could push 9. I don't think he's going to push a ton. Yeah, I think that's around where he's going to finish.
He's the type of player who could get double-digit touchdowns. That's just not something the Giants do. Like, until Dart's proven as a quarterback. But we've seen Russ. Russ had Cortland Sutton get to 10. He's done it with DK. So maybe it's there. Maybe if Russ has it, I don't think he does anymore. I think that I also think Dart's going to play the majority of the season. I really do.
I would say they're playing close to half and half. I would say that would be my prediction right now. I think Russ is still a decent enough quarterback to get the job done. I think he's going to push. He could push 20-some touchdowns if he played the full season, I think.
It wouldn't surprise me if Russell Wilson's not on this team halfway through the year. Yeah, like, once Dart gets in, it wouldn't surprise me they let him go because Jameis is there, and Jameis and Dart have that relationship. And I honestly think you guys are carrying all 4 of these quarterbacks. DeVito, Wilson, Winston, Dart. I think all 4 of them are going to be there. Barring a team getting a catastrophic injury and you guys move with Wilson or Winston to that team.
Hopefully we cut Tommy DeVito. That guy's an absolute bum. He is a horrendous quarterback. I hate that guy.
The white folk in New York are seasoned. Did you hear that, Jameis?
No.
Oh, he asked him about Dart and Scatabo, and he was just like, the white folk around here, and he included DeVito, they're seasoned.
Ugh, I hate two of those three guys.
Yes, I know. But Neighbors, in this offense, he is it. He is the clear cut step above the rest
Oh yeah, for
weapon
sure.
on this
It's
team.
not even close. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the only
it's
giant
more
you
so
can
than
rely
even Garrett
on
Wilson.
for fantasy football.
What was that?
I said he's the only offensive player on this team that you can rely on for fantasy football.
Yeah, for sure. Like we were talking about how Garrett Wilson was the focus point of the Jets offense. Malik Neighbors is that even more so for the Giants. We don't even have a run game compared to the Jets with Breece Hall. We have Tyron Tracy and Cam Scadaboo, so who even knows what's going to happen in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
Malik Neighbors, though, is foolproof. It's not going to fail. We've seen the talent last year. He finished wide receiver 6 in an absolutely horrendous offense. So I'm all in on Malik Neighbors for sure.
Yeah, and Neighbors, I said it in the process that like I thought he was as good a prospect as Marvin Harrison coming out. Last year. Things went in Neighbors' favor. So, all right, the two guys you have in your top 6 that I don't have are clearly Puka Nacua and AJ Brown.
Yes.
And then mine would be Nico Collins and Drake London for you. I have AJ Brown 10, Puka 9. You had Nico at
8,
7.
and Drake London at 9.
8. Okay.
Yeah.
So I assume one of them is going to be 6, and one of them is going to be 5 or 4.
They're 5 and 6.
Okay. Nico is my 6. Drake London is my 4.
Hot take.
Yeah. It might be.
Hot take.
How
many touchdowns you got that guy finishing with, dog? 15?
9.
9. Same as last year. Okay.
100 catches. I got him at 170 targets. Second most targets in the league.
He had 100 catches last year, so it's not out of the possibility.
Okay. I have Chase with the most targets at 175, and then I have Drake London at 170. So we'll talk London. I brought it up with Michael Penix before. Like, I just think the Falcons are this team who is going to be slugfests, high scoring games, shootouts. Their defense isn't particularly good. I think Michael Penix, and then I think they're going to be slinging it, and I think that lends to Michael Penix. Michael Penix can sling the ball with the best of them. I think they're going to be a high-powered offense, similar to the Bengals of last year. I think they're going to be scoring points, but the defense is going to be bad. So I think Darnell Mooney is a good, safe flex guy. Bijan Robinson, I obviously think is a RB1, the RB1 in my eyes. And I just think Drake London, this is me calling my shot on him entering the top tier of wide receivers and showing the talent that I believe he has. So I just think this is Drake London taking that step up into being one of these elite wide receivers in football. I think this offense is going to be passing the ball a ton. I think they're going to be down. And I think Drake London becomes the biggest beneficiary from that. I think he could lead the league in receiving touchdowns as well. He has that sort of upside.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be hard to out touchdown Jamar Chase, for sure.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
But if you had to take like a list of 5 guys, I think Drake London would be towards the top of those 5. He did it last year. He's wide receiver 5, so it's not out of the possibility to have a little bit better season.
I didn't even know he was wide receiver 5. Wow.
Yeah, he was wide receiver 5 last year.
Okay.
So I get it because they are like the Bengals. They're Bengals like this year. Their defense isn't that good. They're going to obviously, they tried to improve it, so we'll see how it goes. I don't think it's going to be greatly improved, but it'll be improved compared to last year. But they're going to be chugging the ball a ton, dude. And Darnell Mooney's ADP, he's going wide receiver 49. Well, that's a crime. He finished wide receiver 31 last year. So I think that's in the ballpark of where he's going to finish this year again, around the 30s. But Drake London, yeah, dude, he's, I think, a lock for a wide receiver 1 with Penix as the quarterback in that offense. They're going to be throwing a bunch. They're going to be down. They got to keep up. And like you said, I think he's going to push 10 touchdowns, 1,200, 1,300 yards, and 100 catches. So Drake London's a dog this year, for sure.
Yeah, Drake London's going as wide receiver 10 currently. Darnell Mooney, if you care to know his ADP, he's going as wide receiver 49. Yeah, not even in the top 100. He's ranked, his current ADP is 109th.
Yeah, that's
So the
rough.
109th pick, which comes out to being a 10th round pick. 10-1. Yeah, he's the projected, his current ADP is 10-1, the first pick of the 10th round. Yeah. But yeah, I love Atlanta's offense. I love Drake London. And like I said, this is just me calling my shot. Like, I think Drake London is just going to be a potential, like, if you draft him with your first round pick or your second round pick, I think if you win your league, you're going to be looking back and be like, Drake London is the reason I won this championship.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those guys that could take the upswing for sure.
Yeah. All right. Nico, who I have at 6, you had him at 8.
8.
I feel the same way about Nico Collins I did last year. I think he is one of the safer picks in fantasy. Like, if he's healthy and he's a 100-catch guy in my eyes, I think he has double-digit touchdown upside. I don't think he gets there, but I think he could be
he's a 100-catch guy?
I do. I think he's far and away like the guy in the offense that's going to catch the ball.
I agree to you, but his career high in catches is 80.
Well, what was he on pace for last year? He missed, 6 games?
He played in 12, yeah, and he had 68 catches.
Yeah, and that one game, he was like out the first play of the game.
I think he's going to push 100 catches. I wouldn't say he's a 100-catch guy, though.
So had he played all 17 last year, he was on track for 96. I have him at exactly 100 catches.
But he's never finished the season. He's the literally T. Higgins.
Again, I don't stack guys out to miss games.
But I wouldn't say he's a 100-catch guy, though. I don't think. I think he's in the 90s at most.
I think he's just far and away the best option in the passing game. I like Jaden Higgins. I think he's a good bet, but like, I just think everything is going to funnel through him this year. Like, I have him projected to finish 3rd in receiving yards behind Chase and Jefferson. I have him at 1,400 yards, 8 touchdowns, 100 catches. I just think Nico, again, like, back end of the first round, beginning of the second, I'm really comfortable with him there, and I think he's like just the type of guy you put in your lineup he could be, again, a top 4 guy.
Yeah, he's got a huge touchdown upside. I get his career high is 8, but he's a big play guy when he plays. Hopefully he plays more than 14, 15 games, I think is his career high. But I think 1,300 yards is the ballpark where I have him. I have him at 8.5 touchdowns, 90 catches. So I agree with you. But CJ Stroud has always used his slot receiver. He did it in college, even when he had Garrett Wilson and who was the other receiver on the outside? Chris Olave. He still used JSN in the slot. He used Tank Dell in the slot. He's going to use Christian Kirk in the slot. He's going to use the other wide receiver from Iowa State. What is his name?
Jalen Knoll?
Yes, I think Knoll's going to be involved. I think they're going to use both those guys. I think they're both good slot receivers.
Jaden Higgins was actually the slot guy at Iowa State, not Jalen Knoll.
Higgins isn't going to run the slot in the NFL. It's going to be Knoll and Kirk. Higgins is going to run the outside like Nico.
I think Higgins will be moved around.
I think Kirk's going to be the locked slot guy in that offense.
Yeah.
I love Nico, but I think they're going to use like 4 wide receivers in this offense. Obviously, Nico's the one for sure at the end of the day because you're dealing with Christian Kirk, who's older, he's aging out, and 2 rookies. But I think the rookies are going to be heavily involved, especially later in the season. And Kirk is going to be involved because he's the slot receiver.
I can't as easily find. Nico Collins played 20% of his snaps were from the slot last year.
Yeah, Nico's going to play the outside.
Yeah. Well,
for sure.
Nico, I think he'll. I think the Texans they do a really good job of moving their pieces around. Like I think everyone will see slot snaps in this offense, and new coordinator. So I'm not overly familiar with who took over for bum ass Bobby Slowick and how his philosophies are, but yeah, I just think Nico, he's just talent wise is a step above everybody. That I just think the Texans are just going to feed everything to him. That's why I have him getting to the 100 catch level.
Yeah, I see it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. His career high in targets is 109, so that would also have to be greatly increased if he's pushing 100 catches.
I got him at 149. So
It's a big upgrade.
He's got to stay healthy. That ultimately comes down to, like, if he's healthy for all 17 games, these are these are steps he can easily manage to get
for
to.
sure. Yeah.
All right. Puka Nacua. I have him at 9. You have him at 6 or 5?
5.
5. Okay, so you got him over AJ Brown. So do I. Again, 100 catches.
If he stays healthy, he's going to be all top 6 wide receiver. He's so good, dude.
Yeah, especially in full PPR. He's going as the wide receiver 5 currently. So I'm a little bit lower, but that's because I've projected Nico and Drake London to be these True Blue League winners, and the fact that Puka, I just don't think he's going to score a lot. Like, I have 6 touchdowns. That's not his shtick, and I got him at 105 catches for almost 1,400 yards.
Yeah, for sure. That's pretty close to what I have him. Seeing around 150, 160 targets. He's going to eat a ton in the middle of this field. He had almost 1,000 yards last year in 11 games. He had 80 catches pretty much in those 11 games. He's a PPR cheat code. He's going to see a ton of targets. Matt Stafford loves this dude. They're going to move him around like they did Cooper Kupp. I don't see a bad season in Puka unless he gets hurt.
Yep, absolutely. He is just a reliable fantasy option who you take middle of the first, back into the first, and you're just locked into this guy who's going to get you really good numbers. And the same can be said about AJ Brown, who I have at 10, so you have him at 6.
I'm at 6. But real quick on Puka, he almost finished as a wide receiver 2. He finished wide receiver 26 in those 11 games. So he missed so many games, 6, 7 games, and he was still almost a wide receiver 2. He's so valuable.
Yep, and he's Matt Stafford's favorite guy. So you always want that piece attached to Matt Stafford. Like Cooper Kupp was Triple Crown winner with Stafford. There's no reason to think that Puka can't achieve 2 of those. I don't see him. I don't think
touchdown's not going to happen. No.
Yeah, but he could, at the end of the day, lead the league in yards and catches. It wouldn't surprise me.
100%.
Yeah. AJ Brown, again, Philadelphia. He's the alpha here. He's getting his target share. He's got a little more touchdown upside than Puka does, but I don't think he has the reception upside Puka brings to the table. And yardage, I would say they're saying. I do think AJ Brown could get 100 catches. I just don't. I think everything would have to go right for him to break 100.
Yeah, he's done it once in his career. He had 106 his first year in Philly, second year in Philly. So and everything went right that year. He had 158 targets, 106 catches, almost 1,500 yards. I don't think he's going to push the 100 catches, but I still think he's going to push close to 1,400 yards, 8, 9 touchdowns. But I think Puka's going to outcatch him to where the touchdowns don't really make a huge difference.
They cancel each other out. Yep.
Yeah, compared to Puka, that is.
And Puka's also, he's one of those receivers who also gets a good amount of carries as a running back.
Yeah, for sure. They're always moving him around.
Yeah. Whereas AJ Brown, he's not going to get 10 plus carries like Puka can get. But
no, Puka had a rushing touchdown last.
Yeah, he's just one of those just safe picks where, like, you pick him where he's going, and you're getting a range of 5 to 12. That's where he's finishing. He's probably not finishing outside the wide receiver 1 range. You got a really good floor with the upside to be a top 5 guy. I don't think he gets there, but again, I don't think he falls, like I said, past 12. Like, I wouldn't even say he falls past 10, which is where I have him. I think 10 is his floor.
Yeah, as long as he's healthy, he's not going to fall past 10, for sure. Yeah. I'm 100% with you. Just based off catches and yards alone. He could have 3-4 touchdowns, and I'm not too worried.
All right, our top players, like I said, 6, I have Nico Collins. 5, I have Amon-Ra St. Brown. 4, I have Drake London. CeeDee Lamb, 3, Justin Jefferson, 2, Jamar Chase, 1.
A.J. Brown, Philadelphia 6, Puka Nacua, LA 5, Amon-Ra, Detroit 4, Justin Jefferson, Minnesota 3, CeeDee Lamb, Dallas 2, Jamar Chase, Cincinnati, obviously, number 1.
All right. Amon-Ra, again.
He's wide receiver. What is there to say about these 4 and 5 guys, to be honest? Like, Amon-Ra's wide receiver 3 last year, 3 the year before, 7 the year before that. He's a 100-catch guy. He could push 1,500 yards. He's done it before. Double-digit touchdowns the last 2 years.
He showed that he had touchdown upside the last 2 years. Yeah.
Like, he broke 10. When he had 10, everyone was like, oh, he's going to regress. No, here's 12.
Yep.
Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think he's going to hit 12. That's not going to happen. I think he's going to honestly not even hit. I agree. I don't think he's going to hit 10, but he's still super safe.
I got him at 116 catches, which would be second in the league behind Chase in my projections. I got him at almost 1,300 yards. Again, like, the biggest worry is the offensive coordinator change.
Yes.
Does Jameson Williams get more involvement in this offense? And just the Lions as a whole, like, do they just regress as a team? Like, everything went right for the Lions offense last year. Like, your defense, 14 guys on IR, almost every player on the offense healthy throughout the whole year. So
yeah, and that's when all of their offensive pieces took huge upside when everyone on their defense got hurt. When Hutchinson went down, all of their offensive guys started to spike because they needed to score more points. When their defense is healthy, it's really good. So I expect their offense to take a kind of a step back. I've been saying that pretty consistently on the podcast. But Amon-Ra still
reasonable because of how efficient
safe.
Their offense was last year, and they lost 11 coaches too. So Detroit, like I said, Pittsburgh, like 3 teams always miss the playoffs. I don't think Detroit misses it, but if they did, it would not surprise me. It would just be like a culture change. Like, it would just be a fluke year. It was like we saw it with the Eagles when they lost all their coaches that one year. They didn't make the playoffs. So. Like, that is a realm, and like they play in a really tough division with Minnesota, Detroit, or Minnesota, Green Bay, and Chicago. So
they arguably play in the best division in football. With Detroit last year at 15 wins, you guys had 14. Green Bay had 11. Everyone's expecting Chicago for 2 years now to take a jump. So I said this like a week or 2 ago. I don't expect the Lions to take a huge step back and miss the playoffs, but it would not surprise me at the end of the day if they happen to fall out. Because they have a really tough schedule because they play Minnesota, Green Bay, and Chicago. So,
and then they got all the first place teams: Philly, Tampa, the Rams.
Yeah, I believe they go on the road for Baltimore, Cincinnati, Kansas City, Washington, Philadelphia, and the Rams are all road games.
They had like 4 outdoor games all of last year, and we know Jared Goff thrives inside. Yes. I think they've reached that in the first 6 games of like the year they play outside.
Yeah, it's like gonna be rough.
Yeah, it'll be weird, and it'll just be like a weird, just like culture, like schedule, like just fluky thing that hurts their production. It's not a talent issue for like Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like,
no,
he could fall out of the top 5, but 8, 9, 10, sure, he could finish there, but like I don't think he falls out of the top 12.
No, I agree. I think just like Puka Nacua, just because of his catches, his floor is 10.
Yeah. All right. CeeDee and Jefferson. You have CeeDee 2. I have CeeDee 3, and then Jefferson 2. You have him 3. Is it the quarterback? Is that why you have? Lamb obviously has the better quarterback.
Dak Prescott more than JJ right now, especially fantasy wise. I'm looking at CeeDee's 2023, where he's wide receiver 1. I think that's a realm of possibility here with Dak Prescott healthy. This offense, they don't have a good run game with Javonte and Miles Sanders. So CeeDee Lamb last year had a quote for quote step back last year. He still finished wide receiver 8, 101 catches, 1,100, almost 1,200 yards. I expect the touchdowns to go up. They were 6 last year. I think he's going to push 10 again.
Yeah.
The CeeDee Lamb's just one of those guys you want on your team. And he has rushing upside ability too.
You know you're getting this production from CeeDee Lamb of 100+ catches. I think I have him at 10 touchdowns. I have him at 1,300 yards. They also utilize him as a running back. Like, he gets carries every year, like a good amount. Like, he's one of those receivers you could stat out on the ground because he's going to see 10 plus carries. I have 3 points separating him and Jefferson. So, like, they're really close. I just think Jefferson last year proved he's quarterback proof. The year before that proved he was quarterback proof with Josh Dobbs. Last year with Sam Darnold. I'm not worried about J.J. McCarthy stepping in there just because I trust Kevin O'Connell so much to just make this offense work. And I just think Justin Jefferson is a step above. Like, Jamar Chase is the best fantasy wide receiver. Justin Jefferson's the best real life wide receiver in football.
I agree. I would say Jefferson is more talented than Jamar Chase for sure. I would agree.
Yeah, Jefferson's a savant, one of the cleaner route runners in football. He's really high IQ, whereas I'm not saying Chase isn't, but Chase is more, he thrives off the big play, and he could take one to the house with ease, where Jefferson, he's not more athletic than Jamar, but like he's just a higher IQ football player. He will pick you apart. He will wear you out.
Justin Jefferson knows exactly where to be whenever he's asked to be there. Jamar Chase can do that, obviously. Oh, yeah, for sure. He's literally Devontae Adams. He's a more talented Devontae Adams, to be honest. Jamar Chase, though, was also right there with him, but they're 2 different wide receivers.
Yeah. And I think they were on the same offense in college.
Insane. With Joe Burrow, one of the best quarterbacks in football.
Yeah. Yeah. And Terrace Marshall.
Yeah, sure. That guy really panned out.
Yeah, he was really good, though, in LSU. I loved him. Any of these 3 guys, Lamb, Jefferson, Chase,
you're not going
to be disappointed. Like, sure, like there's a chance Jefferson finishes at like wide receiver 5, but or Lamb, but like you're not going to be disappointed with these guys, bearing injury. Like if they get hurt, obviously, but you can't be mad at them. That's just more like, dang, things didn't go your way.
Yeah, everyone's going to get hurt.
These guys
at some
play
point.
all 17 games. They're lock, stock, top 5 players.
Yes, these 3 guys, and that's why they should be wide receiver 1, 2, and 3. It doesn't really matter which order, to be honest. Chase should obviously be 1. But they're just the safest options at the end of the day. Obviously, you can make a case like, oh, A.J. Brown is as talented as these guys. Amon-Ra is as talented as these guys. Sure, I get that. But these guys are in the 3 best predicaments for NFL fantasy value, being Chase, Jefferson, and CeeDee Lamb. They're not going to miss. They're just going to hit.
I don't see, like I could see BTJ, Malik Neighbors, Nico, Drake London get 3. I just don't think, and I don't think there's a world where Chase, Jefferson, and CD don't take up 2 of the top 3 spots.
Sure. I honestly don't see a world where the 3 of those guys don't take 3 of the top 4.
Like,
someone
I could see one of them
in.
falling out of the top 3, but again, like I think their floor's 5,
like 4 and 5. Yeah, for sure.
All right, and then Jamar Chase obviously plays for the best offense in football for fantasy. He was the best receiver last year for fantasy. I don't see that changing this year. I have him winning the Triple Crown again. Yes,
he did Triple Crown last year.
Doing it again this year.
That's impressive. I don't think that's going to happen, obviously, but it's not out of the possibility for sure. But if you're statting out these guys, and this is why he should be the first pick in drafts, because his ceiling is literally unlimited almost in catches, yards, and touchdowns because of the offense he plays in.
I almost have 40 points between him and Jefferson. And Jefferson's my
2.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. League winners. Talent does that.
Yeah. Quick, who's the guy outside your top 24 who you just really like favorite flex play? Like, obviously, we've talked George Pickens up a ton, and we love him. So somebody that's not George Pickens.
Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, Miami, 27. Okay. I think he's a huge bounce back year.
I'm at 29. Did we have the same guys in our top 24? Yeah. Yeah, we did.
I think so.
We did. Yeah, just different. Crazy. I just put that together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so did I.
Wow. Okay.
But I mean, to be honest, I'm looking at the top 24. I don't think I would bump any of these guys into the top 24. So that kind of makes sense to me.
So I like I said, I would take George Pickens over DK Metcalf. I have Pickens at 27, DK at 24. Like,
depends on what I need, but I have them back to back. I have them 24, 25.
I have Jerry Jeudy and Chris Olave 25, 26. They both
Yeah,
come
you're
with
way
like
higher on
risk.
Jerry Jeudy than I am, dog.
And
I have Jerry Jeudy at 34.
I have Flacco playing the majority of the year. So,
I
I
don't know
will
that's
throw
gonna
a
happen.
wild one out. Like, I have Josh Downs about 10 spots higher than his ADP. Same with Darnell Mooney. But I'm just going to throw
Oh
Adam
my
Thielen.
God, dude. What was Mooney's ADP? 50, 59? Something like that?
49.
49? Okay, I have him wide receiver 40.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, 49.
And
I have him at 36.
I have Josh Downs at 38. I would assume that's way higher than ADP.
Josh Downs is 48. I'm at 34.
Okay. Yeah, I'm 38.
But I'm just going to throw out Adam
yeah.
Thielen. I got him at 40, and he's not even going in the top 50 of wide receivers. So,
hey, I got him 49, top 50.
yeah. I think Thielen in full PPR. Bryce Young loves him, and he's a guy you can get in the 13th round. So,
Yeah,
I think he gives you a really good floor as a player. You can put him in your flex spot and just be comfortable with that, and you can get him really late. And he gives you a guy if you take some upside shots on some of these guys, and then he gives you a really good fallback.
you sound like me last year when he came back from injury, dude. I was very pro Adam Thielen when he came back because he had fresh legs at that point. So I don't think Thielen's going to be a consistent option all season, but he's definitely going to have chunk weeks where he's a wide receiver too.
Yeah, Bryce Young loves him. I'm a little higher on the Panthers passing game than you were. Like I have Tet at 32, but like I could see a world where Thielen ranks higher than him just because that's Bryce Young's guy, and he's just the piece that puts everything together in that offense.
So, he's a safety blanket for sure. I have Tet at 35, and that worries me. I'm not going to lie. I think that's a little too high.
A little too high. Okay, where's he going? He's going
way high. He's going higher than that. Yeah, he's going higher.
We're both lower than considered. All right. Top 24. I'm just sort of route. DK Metcalf, Jameson Williams, Devontae Adams, Devontae Smith, Tyreek Hill, Terry McLaurin, DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison Jr., Mike Evans, Lad McConkey, Cortland Sutton, Jackson Smith-Njigba. That's 24 through 13. Top 12. T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson, A.J. Brown, Puka Nacua, Brian Thomas Jr., Malik Neighbors, Nico Collins, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Drake London, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase.
Hey, mine are the same 24 guys in a little bit different order. I'm not going to repeat them because they're the same 24 guys. So those guys, they're all wide receiver ones or wide receiver twos.
I'm surprised that we've got pretty much the same dudes in there because that didn't happen with any of the other positions. No. And you think we would have? I was worried we were going to have so much disparity with wide receivers because there's so many.
Sure.
It all worked out in the end for your boys.
Yeah, you love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah. Next week we're going to kick the week off with a mock draft.
Ding dong.
And then we will move on to divisional breakdowns, predictions,
real stuff.
Yeah, dive in a little more on like guys we didn't talk about here. Yeah, today,
guys that might not be actual fantasy relevant, but guys that are going to be. Well, no, we will, but some guys they're going to be wide receivers 3s, 4s on teams, and they're not going to have huge fantasy seasons, but they're going to be impactful for teams. Yeah, Debo, I think is going to be very impactful for that offense, but I wouldn't trust him with a dart throw in fantasy.
Yep. Yeah, there we have it. Drafted Up Podcast. Search us, YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Like, rate, subscribe, review. We always appreciate it. Follow. We'll be turn your notifications on, all that stuff. So you get little notices when we pop on and start some shows off. And we'll see you guys next week with a mock draft.
Woo! Adios, y'all. Bye.